Good morning, students. In the previous class, you have learnt about the circumstances that led to the Salt March or the civil disobedience movement to start. Today, we are going to continue with the topic, the Salt March, uh, the first civil disobedience movement. Gandhiji found in salt a powerful symbol that could unite the nation. On 31st January 1930, he sent a letter to Viceroy Irwin stating 11 demands. Some of these were of general interest, others were of specific demands of different classes from industrialists to peasants. That means he wanted to clear or he wanted to have the opinion of the industrialist as well as the poor peasant as well. So, the salt was something that was consumed by the rich and the poor alike. And so, there should not be a monopoly right of only the Britishers to make the salt in India. So, he broke the salt law first. Okay, so the tax on the salt was the government monopoly over its production, right? So Gandhiji's letter was an ultimatum to the British government. If their demands were not fulfilled by 11th March, then the Congress would start with the civil disobedience movement. And so Gandhiji's ultimatum was not taken very seriously by Irwin, and Irwin was not willing to negotiate with the Gandhiji's 11 demands as well. And so Gandhiji had to start his famous Salt March. He was accompanied by 78 of his trusted volunteers, and the march was over 240 miles. He started his march from his Sabarmati ashram in Gujarat to the coastal town of Dundee. Dundee was near the coast, and so he had to go there to prepare the salt. And so he had to march more than 240 miles. And the volunteers and he himself walked for 24 days, about 10 miles a day to reach Dundee. So thousands came to hear Gandhiji wherever he stopped. Every night or he had to stop in between. So he used to give them the speech as to how to participate in the civil disobedience movement. And his speeches had a very good impact, not only over men but women also. And this was the first time that women in India also started participating in the freedom struggle for India. So his speech was so powerful that it attracted the women in India as well. And this was the first time that they participated in the civil disobedience movement. Along with Gandhiji, there were women also who followed him to Dundee to make salt. So thousands of people came to hear him and were inspired by Gandhiji, and they participated in the Salt March. So on 6th April, he reached Dundee and he violated the laws and started making salt by boiling the sea water. Now, what is the difference between the non-cooperation movement and the civil disobedience movement? So first we will see about the non-cooperation movement. So non-cooperation was not to cooperate with the government. Okay. So here what happened? Foreign goods were boycotted, liquor shops were picketed, foreign cloth were burnt in heaps, just as a photo I have uh, pasted one photo over there. So bonfires of was lit and heaps of foreign cloth was burnt like this. So in many places merchants traders refused to trade on foreign goods, and finance and the traders refused to finance for foreign traders as well. Students left their government owned schools, colleges, lawyers gave up their legal practices. So all these was practiced in the non-cooperation movement. And now, what is the difference? I mean, what was civil disobedience movement? Here it was entirely not to obey. Now, whatever rules were made, they were breaking those rules. Okay, so that was called as the civil disobedience movement. So people were asked to break the colonial laws. Okay, the countrymen broke the salt law. Peasants refused to pay revenue and the chowkidari taxes. The chowkidari taxes were the taxes that were collected near the gate. I mean, from one village to the other village, when you pass, you had to pay the chowkidari taxes. So that also the people refused to pay. Now, the village officials resigned from their post. Forest people violated forest laws and rules. So this was all practiced in the civil disobedience movement. Now, why was the civil disobedience movement called off? The movement was called off because of uh, many things, and the main reason was that it was going violent, because Gandhiji never wanted violence, but violence started, means the people became very violent. So Gandhiji had to call off the movement. So we will see now why exactly Gandhiji called off the movement. The colonial government, worried by the developments of the civil disobedience movement, started arresting the Congress leaders one by one. They felt that this disturbances or this disobedience of the people was because of the motivation of the Congress leaders. So they felt that if the Congress leaders were arrested, and mm, when the leaders were arrested, they will not go in for another disobedience or another such action. So they started arresting the Congress leaders. So this led to violent clashes in many places. Uh, the first arrest was done in Peshawar. Abdul Ghaffar Khan, he was a disciple of Gandhiji, and he was arrested in April 1930. Okay, so the angry crowds demonstrated in the streets of Peshawar, and there many of them were killed also. Because he belonged to Peshawar, and the people in Peshawar loved Abdul Ghaffar Khan, and since his leader was their leader was arrested, they became very very violent and showed their anger in Peshawar against the Britishers. And so the Britishers also were not very quiet over the issue, and they also started retaliating, and they killed many of the crowds who were very violent in Peshawar. A month later, what happened? Gandhiji himself also was arrested. Industrial workers in Sholapur attacked the police post, municipal buildings, law courts, and railway stations, etc., were you know destroyed by the industrial workers in Sholapur, because Gandhiji was arrested from there. And so the industrial workers in Sholapur were not very happy with the arrest, and they showed their anger by attacking the police post, municipal buildings, law courts, railway stations, and all that. Now, a frightened government responded with the policy of brutal repression. Even the Britishers did not keep quiet over this. They responded in a more brutal way, and all the satyagrahis who were attacking the government buildings and post office and all that, they were they didn't even see that they were women and children, but they beat them a lot, and they were beaten so much that many were killed also, and many were arrested as well. Over 1 lakh people were arrested in Sholapur. And Then Gandhiji was not able to see such a disaster where the people were being killed. The women and children also were not spared, and this he did not like because he did not want violence. And so, this was the main reason for the civil disobedience movement to be called off. Then when the meeting, I mean, it was called off and many people were in jail. 1 lakh people were arrested. 1 lakh people were arrested. Gandhiji now entered into a pact with Irwin on 5th March 1931. By this Gandhi Irwin Pact, Gandhiji gave his consent to participate in the Round Table Conference in London, and the government agreed to release the political prisoners. In December 1931, Gandhiji went to London for the conference, but unfortunately, the negotiations there broke down and he had to return disappointed. But when he returned to India back, he found that Ghaffar Khan and Nehru both were in jail. According to the promise by Irwin, all the prisoners would be out of the jail and he would go to London. That was the promise. But unfortunately, he found that Ghaffar Khan and Nehru were still in jail. Seeing all these, Gandhiji relaunched the civil disobedience movement. But unfortunately for it, it lost its momentum as well in 1934. So, what we have done just now is the Salt March, the Gandhi Irwin Pact, and uh, why the civil disobedience movement was called off. Now, in the next slide, I have given you the worksheet. Please complete the worksheet, and the next slide, you will see the activity as well. You have the map book with you all, and in the map book, you have the lesson Nationalism in India. I want you all to do all the pages that are there in Nationalism in India in map book itself and submit it when you return back to school. And there is a link also. I have sent you the YouTube link where you have the real footage of the Dundee March. It's just of 1 minute, so you all can watch how Gandhiji had gone to means he went to the coastal town of Dundee and how he had made the salt. Actually, he had only 78 volunteers with him, but when he started from the Sabarmati ashram, but when he went to or when he reached Dundee, you find that there were lakhs of people following him to make the salt, and that is how they broke the salt law. Okay, so goodbye for now. We will do the rest of the chapter in the next session. Thank you, children.